No one likes losing, especially in a rivalry game. But if you're going to lose, might as well learn something. And that we did. The depth chart changes worked. But coach also realized something else. We've been asking these boys to do things they are not designed for. So today, we take it back to the basics. No more blended offensive schemes and no more specific style defense. Basic veer and shoot. Basic 3-3-5. Oh, and coach also needs to impress a recruit who may just be a needle in the haystack. But as we return to Birmingham, Alabama, it's a home game for UAB, needing to find their bounce back, and it's going to be with a new offensive look, a new defensive look. Hopefully we see these same changes that worked for us against Memphis work even more. Impress this recruit and earn us our first conference win of the season. We faced East Carolina. They're 1-4, 0-1 in conference. But we should not overlook this team. They've got multiple ways to beat us. But as we get this game underway with the boot, it will be UAB back to return, and they will take it from the 25, letting it bounce out the back of the end zone and bringing out a new look offense, going back to the roots of Coach Moreau, a true veer and shoot. Now, what that means for us is we will still see the use of Bam McReynolds in the running game, still bringing a bit of that power aspect. We're just going to see a little bit more spread from the offense. And the focus is simply getting the ball out quick as they come out with two spread wide to the right-hand side. Looks to be a little RPO. They keep it with Bam, and he's just back to the line. Now, coach is trying to make this change due to all the pressure they've seen up front. Despite changing that offensive line, the pressure has been consistent, and the pressure gets back there on third. Torin Brazil. Well, really no dramatic change there for Coach Moreau, but keep your eye on Ray here for East Carolina. He is their top weapon as they take the field here. They're going to go with a handoff play one, and once again, there is some running room. This defense has allowed a lot of rushing yards over the last handful of games. It was 8 yards play one. Ready for the run here, play two, but it's a bad pass downfield. ECU has themselves a little bit more of a scrambling quarterback. Accuracy fails downfield, and it's a fail on the attempted tackle. McKenzie that opens up the space and the touchdown for ECU. Tackling has been a little bit rough. McKenzie, though, has been the highlight of that. Fortunately, not this time. Landon Sides takes the RPO bubble, gets by the safety, and there was no one left between him and the end zone. So not so much of a promising start here, with more changes coming to this offense as they take the field here and get one. Once again, got to give credit to these defenses that we've been playing against. They are flying around, trying to get these stops. Big cut back inside there from Bam to pick up something. He turns what could have been a negative play into a positive play, leaving a bunch here to the left-hand side, 3rd and 7. Bird tries that hard count, no one jumps. Pass is over the middle. It is Mims, just short of the marker. And once again, we're seeing this offense come out here with some hurry up. It is 4th and around about half a yard. They get the bunch set up over to the right-hand side. Ferguson, he's going to motion over. No hard count, just simple play. And Bam McReynolds gets free. The biggest play so far for this offense. First down for UAB. They get right back to it. Ferguson again here in motion. They go RPO. It's out to Brown. He's going to have it for a short game. They're still seeing a little bit of some elements of the former offense. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit of a work in progress, switching over to something new. Throwing this one out, it's to Bam. Late flag comes in after the throw, and it's not going to be on ECU. Looks like we might have holding in the backfield. You can call that one on Cooper Young. So 2nd and 19 After a positive play, they still go backwards, back to the 29. Burton, though, looking to step up here, get back some of that lost yardage. He makes it at least 3rd and 8. Just trying to keep these drives alive here. That's been the problem. They've struggled to just get the ball into the end zone. They've driven. They haven't netted much. As Burton again under pressure, ECU sent 5 and they hit home. Brazell again. The problems continue to be play action with this offense. They just simply cannot do it. RPO here is to ECU, and they're going to get it for the big game. This is simply what Coach Moreau's been trying to do with UAB. It just hasn't worked. And for the Blazers, they've faced this almost every single game this year. They've given up a lot with some of these RPOs. So taking their time here pre-snap, ECU looking for the read, and it's an overcommit by Byard. It opens the door for a big run. ECU, they get by the 30. We'll go back to the air attack this time. Pressure building, throws out late and too tall. We are definitely seeing some of the weak spots here of the passing attack for the Pirates. They look to go back to the run game. Decent fill, but it might have come with a hand on the face mask. A free 15. This defense just shooting themselves in their own foot. Right now they got to find a steady footing. With the 1st and 10, it's inside the red zone. Good wrap up that time, Sullivan in character. Character being a young linebacker this team could build around. We need to see him take a good step forward, though. He gets blocked up, and it's another touchdown here for ECU. A 2-score lead. And it could simply be the Blazers are just too much in their heads. After losing 2 of their last 3, they're just not making the same plays we saw earlier this season. But as we've seen in games past, one play can spark the flame here for the Blazers. They've just got to find it. And they've got to find a way to manage this pressure. Burton can't escape. Already 3 sacks today. Cedric DeJour getting back there for that one. RPO this time, and CJ Smith gets through. He's got a good gain of 8. Now, he has been a shining light on this offense, a rather impressive season so far. When he came into this year, not a whole lot of expectations for him. Brown getting the catch. He's coming off a big game. He was well over 100 yards there against Memphis. Unfortunately, no one else really came through. Looking for the sweep. It's Bam left side, spinning off a couple tackles. He's got 4. However, he's getting up a little bit gingerly after that run. Now, we've definitely seen him miss some time this year. He's going to head to the sideline right now, leaving 2nd and 6, less than a minute to play here in the quarter. It's Robinson on the keep, and he's not picking up much. So 3rd and 6, got to keep the drive alive here. It is Mims with the catch. He breaks the tackle. 30, 20, trying to beat the pursuit, and he's got it for the touchdown. Maybe that is indeed the spark to the flame of the Blazers. Tyquelin Mims with another great catch and run to get this offense going. That sparked their comeback against Illinois in week 1. An upset we need to see them get back to that form here today. Now the question becomes, who can be that spark on this defense? One big change this week is Sanders injured last week, out for around a month. Messias helping fill in. We've seen big plays from him. Good tackle on the outside, but does still open up a nice gain to begin the drive for ECU. Looking at about one more play left in the quarter, and they continue to find gaps. Need more from this front 4 to help fill those in. As we take the breather here, 14-7 Pirates on the road, but in front against UAB. The passing games have had some mixed success, more so just slow from UAB. Some errant passes for ECU. Right now, they're in front, and they've got possession. As we make our way into the second quarter, it's around midfield. RPO is outside. Good blocking. Sideline space, cutting inside and taking it down to the 30. Once again, you might need to see this defense switch over to a man style. Just ensure they've got someone for those RPOs. But then the counter to that is it's going to lead you to weaker run stopping, and that's already been a problem for this team. Big hit. Malachi Character. He flattens the running back in the backfield. Loss of about 3 and forces 3rd and 6. They go right back to that same play. McKenzie comes down to Phil. Actually, check that, Jordan. Coaches talked about a little bit more rotation with those safeties. He checks in there, helps make a play. 4th and 3, though, they stick to the run. And while they slowed it down at the line, it is still the Pirates first. Well, this defense, they've got several big boys up front, but we're just not seeing them step up against the run. A little bit of rotation in the backfield on this play. Still some room, and it's another gash of about 6. Though a down lineman here looks to be Creel for the Pirates. Well, he'll have to make his way then over to the sideline, leaving 2nd and 4. Back to the run game, and there's literally no one to stop that play. Absolute gap down the middle. No one in the 2nd and 3rd level. Gray's got himself back-to-back touchdown runs. And frankly, from observation, it seems like this crowd is running out of patience with this defense. A couple minutes into the 2nd quarter, we see this offense retake the field for UAB. A successful drive last time, but cut short play 1. It's a pick 6 on the RPO. Ashton levels Mitchell. It's only the 2nd pick this defense has forced this year, and it sets up a 21-point lead. But that can be the cost of running an RPO-style offense. With how wide those splits are, sometimes your quarterback sees one read, he decides to throw because you got to make that decision quick. And it's a good play from the defense that makes it a very costly play for the Blazer offense. And something to just keep an eye out on with this is, frankly, Coach Moreau has never been in this situation before. His first 2 years back in football, he was making conference title games. His offense struggling right now, his quarterback struggling as he gets picked up and planted. We got to keep an eye on seeing how well he settles this team down and looks to continue making plays. RPO is outside. It's to Brown this time. Gain of 3. Only 1 incompletion today for Burton. Unfortunately, that was the pick 6. But a 3rd and 2 as they run it. It's Bam. He's back in the game, and he's got some space. First down scamper down the middle as they'll go with the hurry up here. Coaches talked about that being a bigger focus as well with this offense. As Burton looks to step up, now he rolls outside. He's by the 50. C.J. Smith down on the grass. Can't get that block, but it's a field-flipping scramble from Burton. And well, ECU, they're going to need a breather after those handful of plays. They called their timeout. They'll have 2 more left here in the first half of things. And the pass is just going to get there to Mims. That's a last-second pull from Burton, betting that his receiver would still be in some space. As they get set back here at the line, ECU playing down at the line. A little bit of some more play action. Burton lofts this one, looks to be a little bit short and incomplete, but the ref tosses the flag. Looks like they're going to get the Pirates just tugging at that jersey there as he was coming back for it. Now, of course, this is college football, so that is not a spot foul, but it is free 15. So we take that down to the 13-yard line. 1st and 10. Got to just continue trying to crack into this deficit. Brown will get another grab. But once again, Bam taking the kneel after the play. Not good news. And as the offense comes back out, we also see Rogers out on the field. So Burton also left on the play. That leaves 2nd and 4. They go quick throw. Rogers to Brown. Can't quite hit the corner there, but he nearly had it. ECU, though, calling yet another timeout. That leaves a 3rd and 2 as 2's in the backfield next to Rogers. They hand it off to him. He cuts back left, and it's going to be a Robinson touchdown. The Georgia transfer knocks the ball in here for UAB. A big answering drive coming off the pick 6. Roderick Robinson the 2nd with the touchdown. Though we are still trailing 2 touchdowns. Good news is we still have about 2.5 quarters left to play, so plenty of time here to see UAB build on top of that. They just need their defense to show up. Good ankle biter there from Wilkinson, and yet another injury here, this time to one of the Pirates' O-line. I mean, ultimately, this has been a pretty sloppy game in terms of injuries. Leaving 2nd and 3 here as we get back to play. Delayed handoff, and it's well filled. Tate gets there first. Pirates will get back to the line here rather quickly, though, leaving 3rd and 6. This time, they look to go to the air and not going to get the pass out cleanly. There's a stand. Dean with the hit. As the offense retakes the field. Good news, Bam and Burton out there. We're going to see how well they can play throughout the remainder of this one. Coach going to be a little bit more cautious with them. But they do go right back to Bam. He gets stopped up over the middle. His problem seems to be that left arm, and immediately he is off the field. Robinson, who had that previous touchdown, is back on the field as Burton gets a call in from the sideline. They get reset. It's Roderick Robinson down the middle for a couple. This offensive line very much missing Perez down the middle. The new listed starting center has played a little bit at guard this year. Stepping up, Burton is just contained. There is no space for him to try to make something happen. A real chance there for this team to bite into that deficit, and frankly, they're just unable to make something happen with it. Leaving just under 3 minutes to play here for the Pirates in the first half. As they go with that jet sweep, they're going to lose one. Sullivan and company on that stop quickly. 2nd and 11. They go back to the run game, and there's nothing but room off that left side. 2 diving misses. They came absolutely nowhere close, and they were the last 2 players there. I think UAB needs to work on some tackling drills. Over ECU, DJ Engelman Jr. on only his 15th rush of the season. He's got a long one here that goes over 50 yards and reinstalls that 21-point lead. But in the span of just a couple of weeks, we've seen this team go from making good plays to having some bad plays to now just, frankly, some embarrassing plays. Robinson totes the rock here down the middle. He's got 6. A good way to start the drive, at least. Better than most of the drives we've seen from this team so far this year. They go to the tight end screen. It's Ferguson. Not quite able to power through there, at least with the mark given for the first down. They say about half a yard short. Burton, though, gets him back to the line. And Robinson finds a crease. He's got the first down here, and that should be the final play before the 2-minute breather. And if you're Coach Moreau, you know your offense has got to end this drive back in the end zone. Give you something positive to go into halftime with. As Burton just gets that one out, the receiver was not on the same page. He's running downfield. Meanwhile, the ball is just left up for Childress. It's a pick for ECU, and perhaps it's a commentator's curse for UAB. That's the 2nd turnover for UAB's offense, and a short field again provided for ECU. They'll look to go to the air, at least play 1, though check down is to the shallows for 5. Now, they're definitely not in any sort of hurry right now. They're up 3 possessions. They get the ball after half as well. They're feeling pretty comfortable out there. It is applied over the middle, but it's still a first down here for the Pirates. They are stealing this game right now. A lot of points coming off their plunder. Almost getting back there for the pass rush, but missing the quarterback. Griffith able to get the pass out cleanly. Stops the clock. No gain on it, but at least better than some of the plays we've seen from UAB. Griffiths looking to scramble out here. Wrapped up by Sullivan at the line, but Pirates with a first down. I'll pause the clock for a moment as the chains get reset. They hustle back to the line. They've had to call some timeouts a little early here today. Griffith throws a touchdown for Engelman Jr. right in front of the defender, who just simply didn't try to even make a play there on the ball. And it's 41-14 in the first half. And it's pretty safe to say this crowd is not happy. They expected big things this year with Coach Moreau stepping in, and frankly, well, it started great. It's not gone very well of late. Thrown outside, that'll be caught by Elder. It's a gain of 7, play 1, and while you would love to celebrate that, you only got 20 seconds left on the board here. You want to get at least into some field goal range. That pass, though, is well short, and it's another pick. This time over the head of the receiver, and they will skirt out at the 41. They've got a timeout to spare, and they're looking at least for field goal range here. Now, Burton doesn't seem to be looking all too great after that play. Got to feel a little bit here for the young man, but it's his play out there. The reason this team is down right now. Plus a little bit of some lackluster play from the defense of UAB. As it's the Pirates getting close to range, and that just might about do it. They're going to send out the field goal unit looking for 45 first half points. The changes from Coach Moreau at least not panning out in week 1 of the trial. ECU, though, misses. And technically, we've got just enough time for one more play. Is there a miracle that could happen for us? As Burton is still out there. We saw him a bit weak after that last throw. This one down to about the 20. It's another interception. Flag is down, and it will be on ECU. We'll have a free downage here. And with that downage, we see new quarterback step into the ball game. It's Posey. What can he do here? We haven't seen him out on the field at all. He lofts this one. It's going to be down around the 1. It's caught. Smith running the wrong way, but he breaks it out left, and he's got the pylon. It's a touchdown for UAB to end the half. What's going on here today? 42-21, at least at the break. C.J. Smith utilizing his height as the quarterback 3 steps into the ball game, just launching this one. Everyone fell down. He had to find a way to get around them and had just enough space outside for the score. I mean, what a way to send this one to halftime. And it has been a rough game for UAB. I mean, we can't let that last play overlook everything we saw from that first half. I mean, sloppy play across the board as Georgia Southern, Coach Moreau's former team, picks up the win against Old Dominion. Frankly, it was the same offense he used there. He's tried to bring to UAB today, but the offense just hasn't looked great. It looks just disjointed. Obviously, changing things around, it's not going to look great. But the defense, they just look to simplify things, and they've honestly potentially looked a little bit worse today. I mean, we saw the whiffs on this long run from Engelman Jr. They just simply aren't even wrapping up the guy with the ball. Now, that has been something we've seen progress over these last handful of weeks, them just missing guys in open gaps. But coach is going to have to get them motivated to start this second half, and it's going to have to begin with the defense making plays out there, as the Pirates will begin the second half with the ball. And all eyes out the gate are going to be on this line to see if they can stop the run. Up 21 points, I imagine ECU sticks to that run game. Gray's ran well, Engelman's ran well. We just got to see some guys make some tackles. Good chop there coming in by goalie. But it's these consistent gains of 4, 5, 6 yards on play one that really open up the playbook for ECU to do whatever it is they want to do on second, third downs if they get them to that point. Lofted pass outside, but a sitting tackle. Need to see a bit more of that, and perhaps a little bit more of those hits could force some turnovers. 3rd and 4. Looking at a rollout pass here, and it's character tracking Griffith the whole way. He sits him down, the first sack of the game on the rollout pass. There's a stand for the Blazers. Drives like that are exactly how you get the crowd bought back in. As the offense turns to the field here for UAB, it's their 3rd quarterback. Get a snap. It is Rogers. He's going to hand this one off to Robinson. Not much room. Now, really, the veer and shoot only works when you can establish that inside run to really get yourself going and allow for these receivers outside to try to make some plays happen. Throwing across body, it is, however, caught by Smith. had to ensure that catch. It was a crossbody throw, risky there from Rodgers, but it does pay off. Perhaps those two gloves he wears just giving him a little bit of a tighter bit of control on that ball. But frankly, that's what this offense needs right now. They need a bit more control. With a 2nd and 6, it's a handoff. Robinson gets some blocks downfield, and that'll scoot him down to about the 38. Promising start to this drive. They've got to finish it. That has been their problem this season. Throws outside to the left. That is Mims having to work his way back to it. Limits the gain a little bit. Will only be about 2 yards on it. But they'll just keep working this. They got to find a way to tire out this defense. They bite inside. That's Smith outside. He's got some wheels for a big man, but so do the linebackers here for East Carolina. They've flown around today. Does look like another lineman shaken up here for UAB. That will force both teams to kind of reset themselves then. 1st and 10 at the 12. It is a red zone trip. And Robinson taken down by the blitzing back in Peterson. And Brazel, who's had a big impact in this one, now he's down on the field. We are definitely seeing, though, a drive that started quick and hot, slowed down here down inside the red zone due to some of these injuries. Robinson right side will pick up a couple. But it leaves 3rd and 11. As they get back to the line here, they try a hard count. No one jumps. Rodgers changing something out there for the Blazers. As he's going to sit back in the pocket. He faces the blitz, and it is out and incomplete over the middle. A promising drive that at least should end in some points here as they bring out the field goal unit. You would have loved a touchdown, but you will settle for 3. But that does mean every future drive we have in this second half just has to be that much faster. And we've still got to get some stops here from this defense as we make some adjustments, and they still find a way to hit the edge. Big run here, breaking a tackle downfield and dropped about the 45. I mean, there is a long list of things this team needs to correct. Containment on the outside, run stopping down the middle. I mean, it's a lot. The basics need to be worked on. But there is one guy I want to give some credit to, and that is Character, the freshman linebacker. We've seen him fly around a lot. He's getting a lot more opportunity of late. Big hit by Sullivan. That flattens the back in the gap. Fortunately, it is still another first down here for ECU. They've been consistent with those. As they bring motion in here, tight behind the tackle and the tight end. And it's another Character wrap-up. Loss of 2 from the freshman linebacker. That leaves 2nd and 12. Seeing a lot of 3-4 from this defense today, trying to match up against what we've seen from the offense, but still getting free and spinning out 2 guys. He's still running. Big hit crossing the field again is Character. This freshman does not quit on the play, but it looks like he's going to get a well-earned breather. Walker and Messick check in. RPO's back the other way. Goalie shakes the block, but it's not in time. ECU touchdown. That's why those field goals don't help out as much. Because when the score goes the other way, it widens that total gap. 49-24 here with a point after to come. And ultimately, for Coach, you just want to see him try some new things out there in this last about quarter of play. Find out what works, what doesn't, and center the defense around Character. He just continues making big play after big play. Unfortunately, football is a team sport. The rest of the team is lagging behind as UAB lags behind as we enter the 4th quarter here in Birmingham. It's been really one-sided since the get-go. ECU opened up the 2-score lead, and they've not let up. As we get to the 4th quarter, still want to see this team continue trying to make plays, but it's that backside that consistently is open. And ultimately, this defensive line has really just been manhandled throughout this game. It's not necessarily a strong line either from the Pirates. It's just a weaker line, it seems like, with Sanders out this game. We've seen a lot from Messias and from Tate today, and Messias a bit more of a pass rusher. We're seeing the weaknesses shine through of his run stopping. Another quick RPO hits and another good gain. However, the receiver a bit banged up after that play. I would not be surprised if we see ECU start to pull some of their starters in this fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 3. And Griffiths is going to scramble for the first down to the 18. A red zone trip for the Pirates. Looking to increase their bounty in this one. Currently holding 49 points. They need just one more to drop 50. Right down the middle. He's still got 5. At this point, this defense is just trying to play some base plays out there and make something happen. Character, though, stacking up tackles in this one. He has been the only player today we've really been able to highlight with his defense. 3rd and 6. Little pre-snap motion around. Good news, the receiver seems healthy. Passing out to the flat. Flying over Character will get there to help get the stop with Wilkinson. And Hamlet, he's got the first down for the Pirates. Has this just been steady drive after steady drive? I mean, got to give a lot of props. Quarterback keep, and there's a good wrap-up by Walker. Seems like the freshman linebackers are the ones who will continue to make plays today as they look to get another touchdown, and indeed they do. Engelman Jr. with his 3rd one today, 2 rushing, 1 receiving, and that is the 50 bomb dropped here on UAB. The point after will make it 56-24. Now with 5:08 remaining, just got to get that ball into the end zone at this point. Obviously, that's been the goal the whole game long. But when games just go against you every different way possible, you just have to try to finish strong and find something that you could utilize in following games. And that one's picked up, a late throw outside to Mims. Zion Ratchford gets the pick, and it looks like the graphics team has already made their way out of the stadium for this one because it's just straight back to it. As East Carolina, they change up their look here. Apparently, they're not done trying to fool this defense. Looking for a little rollout here and still open. I mean, the coverage has been soft today. And you're starting to wonder, this team even land that 1-star recruit we had on visit? Because this one's not going to be a win. And he already was not favoring us. Engelman with more rushing room. And right now you're definitely questioning this whole roster. Large turnover expected after the first year, but they are struggling to get pass rush. They're struggling to stop the run. They get a good stop there. Right now, Coach Moreau may be having to turn his thought process. First half of the year was, hey, maybe we've got a chance at a conference title, to who on this team deserves to stick around. Is even getting back to the basics that the team has done today. The defense has shown they can't even handle that. 3rd and 7. And this pass is lofted outside, short of the first down. That's been one of the only ways we've gotten stands here from this UAB defense. 4th and 3. It's at least a tight angle here with the field goal. Right hash, but not a problem for the Pirates. They're closing in on now 60 points. The only silver lining is we've only got 2:50 left in this game. The offense wants to try to use up all of that on this next drive. As it's lofted over the middle, that's a good collapse from the coverage. E.J. Johnson Jr. gets a hand on it to knock it away. Look to be intended for Ferguson, as it's only a 3-man rush, still forcing a rollout and a timely hit there to force the incompletion. That one, Kendrick DeJour, once again, looked to be like that pass intended for Ferguson. Leaves 3rd and 10 as they rush extra. Pass lofted over the middle. This one is just denied, I guess, by Mims. He didn't want it. But frankly, if our top receiver's giving up on the game, then it just might be time to get out of here. 49-24. And the work to get this team back to the form we saw them earlier this year continues. Coach really having to strip this team down and frankly find players that want to get out there and play the game, because we just haven't seen that, as we now drop 3 of our last 4 games, essentially flipping how we started this season. When you play like that, there's going to be consequences. And for us, the consequence really is we're out of this race now for David Griffin. And he was a guy who I think could potentially have been a good player for us at linebacker, even being a 1-star. The speed range there looks pretty good. The zone coverage range looks pretty good. Tackle was already at 71, again for 1 star. Looked promising, but now we're going to have to pull the plug on that. There's a massive hit here to our recruiting class. And on top of that, we also drop here for Damian Khan. The right guard pass protector would be a tackle more so for us. We're going to have to try to increase our ability here. And frankly, we don't have any good pitches either. So it's just going to have to be ascend the house and see if we could try to salvage this race here as Kansas is coming in hot. Now, here's at least some good news. We've got a week off. That means an extra week of practice to try to get this team dialed in. And today we trialed the Tennessee playbook because everything online said is supposed to be really good veer and shoot. But frankly, I didn't see much true veer and shoot here. It still looked like a more atypical offense, a little bit more of a typical spread. I mean, yeah, you had some wide sets, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. So next time, I think we're going to simplify things even more. Going to the generic veer and shoot offense, narrows down our formations, and we're going to see if this at least gives us something to build upon. And we'll be trialing that out in a battle of green versus gold. We've got USF on the road. They're 6-1, 2-1 in conference, and we are 0-3. If we lose one more game, we will have erased a good start to this year, going with a 3-1 record out the gate, and then opposite of that, 2 followed. But well, today was obviously a bad game, and we've had 2 of these in a row. I want to find silver linings. And while it's been hard to find those offensively, I think CJ Smith has continued to be a great player for us. 4 grabs today, 94 yards, had a touchdown. There's one guy who stood out, and that is by far the freshman Malachi Character. He had 14 tackles today. He led us in TFLs. He led us in sacks. I mean, he was doing everything but getting a turnover today. As for the rest of this defense, well, frankly, it starts up front. And we've seen some disappointing play from this front 3, front 5, depending on what formations we are running, rather often. I mean, right now, unfortunately, we are missing Sterling Sanders, who could be a good piece for us again for the future. Only if we could keep him around, and right now his playing style is nowhere close to being met because the defensive line has been arguably the most disappointing group. So Coach, he's going to have to get back to that whiteboard of his in his office, trying to figure things out. Get this defense sorted to where they're at least making some base level plays and continue trying to rework his offense around a group that has some talent. We've just got to unlock it. Leave your ideas on that down below, but make sure you don't miss out on the rest of this series and all the other things we've got going on around here by hitting that subscription button down in the bottom right corner. And go ahead and also tag team that with the bell icon down below. That way you subscribe and you get notified. And if you enjoyed the play today of Malachi Character, leave him a big old thumbs up. And any ideas, as mentioned, you have about this defense. Perhaps the 3-3-5, just like Mr. Hurricane has been saying, just might not be a very good defense.